Hello, my name is Lauren and I'm one of NoteFull's tutors. Each week here on YouTube, one of NoteFull's instructors reviews some student submissions, either writing or speaking, and we take these student submissions from our forum. So as a commitment to your success, we are making sure that we do this each week, and if you have never participated in this and you are really interested in getting some feedback, especially if you have a test coming up, we recommend that you definitely stay tuned to the end of this video where we're going to describe exactly how you can submit your work as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you just saw, we are going to be focusing on speaking this week, and even more specifically, we're going to be focusing on delivery. This is one of those key elements of TOEFL speaking, and what you want to make sure that you're doing when you have delivery in mind. You want to make sure that you are not hesitating, you're well paced, you're not speaking too fast, not too slow. You may have some hesitations here or there, but not too many. Anything more than 2 or 3, and that's going to bring our score down. Also included in delivery is pronunciation and intonation. So essentially all of this stuff is how you deliver, how you speak, and how it may affect your intelligibility, which means basically how you're understood. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. It's really, really important. It's something that a lot of students overlook. So in order to really emphasize the importance of this, I'm going to be featuring 3 student submissions today. All right, and they're each going to be unique. We'll go over why the students earned the scores that they did and what is affecting their delivery overall. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the question. Okay, so the question that was submitted on our forum this week is, would you rather relax at home on the weekends or go out? Use specific examples, reasons and examples to support your answer. All right, this is a standard question too, not too crazy, pretty basic. So a lot of students submitted work this week, and as I mentioned before, I chose to select 3 student submissions. And again, they're going to be varied. So what I want you to do is grab a notebook and a pen and start taking some notes. So as you listen, I want you to start to observe what about this student's delivery is impacting their score. And let's see if you can guess. If you do guess, of course, definitely write in the comments below. And we'd love to see what you think about these student responses. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
I would prefer to go out on my weekends rather than relaxing at home. There are several reasons behind my choice. The first reason is that I think it is more enjoyable to go out with friends on the weekend rather than idle sitting and relaxing at home. For example, on my last weekend, I went out with my friends to Kosovo Sea Beach, and together we enjoyed a lot. I also enjoyed the trip to the St. Martin Island as a bonus. The second reason is that going out on the weekend also give me an opportunity to enrich my knowledge and to interact with different types of people. For instance, on my last trip, I get to know about the culture and tradition of the tribes people of the Kosovo. That's why I think it is important.
Okay, let's get started for the second student submission.
Rather relax at home than go outside on the weekend for 2 reasons. First, it helps me relieve stress. For example, last week I had a lot of my tests going on, and it was a very busy schedule, so staying at home, relaxing really helped me relieve my stress and prepare me better for the next week. Second, another example is when another time I was really saturated with work, so I preferred to, when my family was going outside, I preferred to stay home and catch up with sleep. It really helped me concentrate more, and that's why I prefer staying at home on the weekend.
Okay, we're on to our last submission, so listen carefully.
I would certainly prefer going out on the weekends rather than relaxing at home, for 2 reasons. First, I can catch up with friends and family who I don't get time otherwise to catch up. For example, on a free weekend, I can meet my best friend from school or my cousin sister and can keep tabs about their life and vice versa. Secondly, I love eating food and watching movies. So whenever I get time on the weekends, I can check out the new movie that interests me, or I can catch up with the new outlet at my favorite restaurant for their new dish, something of that sorts. So I would certainly prefer going out rather than relaxing at home for these two reasons.
Okay, so let's now examine why some of these students were different, what about their delivery affected their overall response, and how, of course, this affects their overall scores. Let's take a look first at student A. So this student was speaking very rapidly. I'm sure if you were listening carefully, you noticed that some of the content that this student was saying, it was difficult to understand, and that's definitely going to bring down our score. When you're speaking so rapidly that it affects intelligibility, which again means understanding, or if you're speaking so rapidly that it's affecting your ability to speak naturally, a grader's definitely going to be influenced by this. And so this score is going to be brought down for sure. Now our next student, student B, this student is kind of in the middle. The student's speech was just a little bit slow. There were frequent lapses in speech, which means that the student had a lot of ums and uhs, right? Not all of the time, but pretty consistent enough to be noticeable and also to interrupt the overall flow of the response. There was no impact on intelligibility, which means I could understand everything the student was saying. The pronunciation was fine, energy was a little bit low, but overall it was kind of in the middle. Now this final student we listened to was very well paced. There were minor lapses in speech, maybe a couple ums and uhs, but nothing too crazy. The student was overall very well paced, very fluid. There was definitely no impact on intelligibility. And, we're not even talking about language use. We're not talking about the overall ability to develop a topic. Just in terms of delivery, the student was very strong. Okay, so let's look at the scores. Student A would definitely earn somewhere between a 2 and a 2.5, and this is because it was really challenging to hear the student and what he was saying, right? With student B, this student was, like I said, in the middle. This is the kind of student who is doing pretty well with everything else, but the hesitations are going to bring the student down to a fair, all right? 3.5, probably at a maximum, but I feel like 3 is the more, the score that the graders would definitely give. Now with student C, this student would earn a 4 in delivery because there were nothing here that really impacted the overall delivery score. So as you can see, the student did really great. And I hope after having heard all these responses, you have a sense how dramatically, sometimes just the way you sound, the presentational quality can really bring down the score. We didn't really talk about pronunciation very much because I think in all of these students' responses, you could hear a little bit of an accent, but the one that was most significantly impacted was so significantly impacted because of the fact that he was speaking so quickly. So pronunciation, we couldn't even understand because of the speed, right? It wasn't something I even thought about here, just because of that speed, right? So if you're looking to earn a 4, I would say model student C, all right, the third student we listened to. And this student is going to definitely be a great guide for you if you're looking to earn the highest score possible on your next TOEFL. Okay, so we've reached the end of our video. This is the part where I get to tell you exactly how to submit your work. So what you'll find is in the link below, in the box below, you're going to find a link to our forum. This is something that we put out every week for you guys. We add a new question for writing, a new question for speaking. So be sure to click the link below and visit our forum so that you can submit some work for next week's video. You might be lucky to receive a bit of feedback here on our YouTube channel. All right. So also, if you like this video, click like. We love it when you click like. Subscribe to our channel because this way you're going to see all of the feedback that comes out each week, especially if you're a student who's looking to improve over a long period of time. And this will be great for you guys. So we look forward to reviewing your work next week. Thank you so much for your submissions to all the students who submitted, and good luck, guys.